Juventus' Brazilian international Arthur Melo has attracted the attention of Arsenal, and with the desperate need for a new midfielder, the Gunners have been pushing. So let's get an update today from Fabrizio Romano on this specific transfer. Let's also find out what's happening with Dusan Vlahovic and why have Tottenham Hotspur been left furious by Arsenal Football Club. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Bavs14 and we did it, my guys. 70k ticket off the list. We have done it, and it is all thanks to you guys. So I want to say a massive shout out to all you guys that tune in every single day, show your boys support and make your boys dream a reality. But now it's on to bigger and better things, so make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you're new, and help your bro now on the road to 80,000 subscribers. We're getting into the Arsenal transfer news, and starting off with Arthur Melo. Today would have been a disaster for Arsenal Football Club, and that's because, of course, today we were meant to play the North London derby, but with Xhaka being sent off against Liverpool, Partey and Onani both for AFCON, Arsenal would have had no senior midfielders and would have played most likely Albert Sambi-Lokonga alongside Charlie Patino. Some men were even saying play Ben White in midfield, but thankfully that was not the case because the Premier League postponed the game. But now for Arsenal, the mission remains the same: it's sign a brand new midfielder. Now Arsenal do have a few long-term targets, one being Tielemans, also Bruno Guimaraes and also Renato Sanchez. But right now beggars can't be choosers, and Arsenal need numbers right now, so that's why Arsenal looking at Juventus' Arthur Melo on a short-term loan transfer. But on that today, Fabrizio Romano says there is still nothing agreed for the Arthur Melo deal. Next week will be key. Arsenal have decided to push again with Juventus, but the loan move is not approved yet by Max Allegri. The Juventus board have not opened talks with Chelsea for Loftus-Cheek as a potential Arthur replacement as of now. The Juventus manager right now is holding Arthur Melo to ransom because the player wants to come to Arsenal, and therefore Arsenal have been pushing to get a loan transfer over the line. But in terms of Max Allegri, this guy is trying to make a point, and he said he actually wants to keep Arthur. And with that kept in mind, Allegri actually started Arthur in their last league game against Udinese, however saying that Arthur was then taken off at half time. Now I myself did not watch the game, so I can't really comment on his performance, but in terms of Max Allegri, the fact that he started Arthur is almost a power play, and he's trying to almost point out to the Juventus board that if you don't find a replacement, I'm going to play this player. But in terms of Juventus, I've looked at their midfield and they've got so many options. Not only have they got the likes of Manuel Locatelli, but Adrian Rabiot, Weston McKennie, but in terms of Max Allegri and Juventus, they remain persistent. It is all down to replacements. But the issue here for Arsenal is the longer that Juventus take to find a replacement, the longer that Arsenal will have to wait. Whereas right now, Arsenal are desperate and they need a midfielder in ASAP. But today you also have Goal Italia's Romero Agresti say that new contact between Arsenal and Juventus are expected on Monday and Tuesday to discuss Arthur. However, Juve are not changing their stance. They won't let him go without having a replacement. But the longer that Juventus take, for me, I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal were to pull the plug on this deal. Because right now, as I keep saying, Arsenal can't keep waiting, and if Arthur isn't available, they might move on to other targets. And could the other targets be a certain Youri Tielemans? Well, according to Ben Jacobs of CBS Sports, he says that Arsenal are actively considering Youri Tielemans. The meeting held by the club with his agents were with a view to a summer move. Selling the player in January will only happen with a Harry Maguire style offer. So Arsenal are still really looking at Youri Tielemans, but Leicester City are making it very clear. If you want Youri Tielemans now, you're going to have to pay upwards of £80 million, which is of course Harry Maguire money. So with that being the case, I simply don't think Arsenal will pay that, and if Arsenal are to sign Youri Tielemans, it will be a summer transfer. But with this all kept in mind, now what do you guys make of Arsenal's pursuit for a brand new central midfielder? With the Arthur deal stalling and Youri Tielemans being very expensive, what midfielder do you guys want to see Arsenal sign in this specific transfer window? Moving on, let's discuss Dusan Vlahovic. As my friend Curtis Shaw TV says, daily Dusan, and we are doing it as well. Dusan Vlahovic, what is the latest update? Well, according to Corriere dello Sport in Italy, Arsenal have offered €60 million plus Lucas Torreira for Dusan Vlahovic. I don't really think this is something new because in my eyes at least, Arsenal have had this offer on the table for Fiorentina for quite a few days. And I keep saying I don't think this is an issue between the clubs of Fiorentina and Arsenal. If anything, I think Fiorentina are desperate to actually sell the player to Arsenal. So it's not about the finances, and I think Arsenal can offer Vlahovic more than enough wages. You guys already know the story behind this transfer. It all goes back to Mr. Darko Ristic, the agent of Dusan Vlahovic. Even that name itself, Darko Ristic, it sounds like a Marvel villain, and with the fees that this guy reportedly wants of 15 to 20 million euros, he might as well be seen as the villain in this specific transfer saga. But I now do believe in terms of tomorrow and Tuesday, it's going to be very important. Going into a brand new week, I think Arsenal will look for a bit of closure to either close the deal and sign the player or end the pursuit and move on to other targets. What happens next in the Vlahovic saga? Find out in tomorrow's episode. Moving on to other strikers, according to Goal in Brazil, Arsenal are one of a number of clubs that have held informal talks with Djed Costa following his release from Atlético Mineiro. What is the year? Oh yeah, 2021. Djed Costa? Nah, we're not doing this. With these reports coming out of Brazil, what I think is happening here is the fact that Arsenal have a Brazilian technical director. Arsenal are always going to be linked to players out of Brazil, especially with, of course, him also having his ex-Chelsea links, and the fact that Arsenal used to employ a certain Willian and David Luiz. But in terms of Djed Costa coming to Arsenal Football Club on any sort of transfer, my friends, it's just not going to happen. Moving on to the Pablo Mari transfer saga, well, according to the Udinese director, he says, "We are going to sign another centre-back soon. This is our plan. I can confirm we are in talks to sign a new defender," he has told Sky. As the likes of Fabrizio Romano and Gianluca Di Marzio have confirmed in the past few days, Pablo Mari is getting closer and closer to signing on a straight loan transfer to Udinese. Not only will they get a cheeky little loan fee, but Udinese will also take care of Pablo Mari's wages. And he also helps Arsenal get a player out of the door, which all due respect does not have a long-term future at Arsenal Football Club. But one player that hopefully does is, of course, William Saliba. With him currently on loan at Marseille, of course, they have no option or obligation to buy, but a lot of Arsenal fans are a bit scared and weary of what if Marseille want to sign this guy on a permanent. Well, in terms of that, we have some breaking news coming out of L'Equipe in France, who say that FIFA have sanctioned Olympique Marseille with a recruitment ban for 2 transfer windows. So even if Marseille want to sign the Mbappe centre-backs, my friends, these guys don't even have the facilities to make it happen. But in terms of Arsenal, they do have 2 players on loan in Marseille, not only Saliba but also Matteo Guendouzi. But in terms of the Guendouzi fanboys, my friends, this guy is not going to return, and that is because despite of Marseille's transfer ban, the fact they have an option to buy in his contract, they will be able to exercise that option. And we have seen this in the past with the likes of Chelsea, who even had a transfer ban but still signed Mateo Kovacic, as they had the option to buy in his contract. But in terms of the Mbappe centre-backs, I think this confirms it. He is going to come back to Arsenal Football Club. An exclusive for John Cross from the Mirror, who claims that Arsenal are eyeing up a potential loan move for Nottingham Forest's on loan Djed Spence. Italian giants Roma and Inter Milan are also watching the 21-year-old's development closely. We all know about Mr. Djed Spence, of course, plays for Nottingham Forest, and he puts in a man of the match masterclass against Arsenal as Forest knocked Arsenal out of the FA Cup. John Cross also claims that Spence will be valued around £10 million with Middlesbrough, and any deal would have to be done on a loan-back basis because he has already played for his parent club this season, meaning he cannot play for a third different team. Now, in terms of the player himself, of course, against Arsenal, he played as a right wing-back. So with the likes of Cedric Soares and Callum Chambers both looking like they're on their way out of Arsenal Football Club, Arsenal will need to sign a brand new right-back. But what's really weird with this player is the fact that he's, of course, on loan from Middlesbrough, and in terms of their fan base, they don't really rate this player in the first place. So with that kept in mind, yes, he was great against Arsenal, but was it just a one-off game? And should Arsenal then go and spend £10 million on him? Anyways, guys, let me know your own thoughts on Mr. Djed Spence, and for a price tag of £10 million, is he the right back that you guys want to see Arsenal sign? Okay, moving on to the other Arsenal news today, and starting off with a game that was meant to be played today. It was meant to be North London Derby Day, but of course, in terms of Arsenal, they confirmed yesterday the match against Tottenham on Sunday had been postponed. That being after the Premier League accepted Arsenal's official request to postpone this game, and the reason why is because, let's just say, Arsenal were going through a player crisis. And as the Athletic confirmed, Arsenal had been left with just 12 fit outfield players following further COVID-19 cases and injury problems. Premier League rules stipulate that teams must fulfill fixtures if they have 14 players, meaning 13 outfield players and a goalkeeper available to play. Now, what I think Arsenal have done here is they have seen the rules from the Premier League and they have simply taken advantage of it. Because yeah, Arsenal do have so many first team players out injured, but at the same time, as you guys have seen with the likes of Leeds United, even with those first team players missing, they are still playing their games, winning their games actually, and also playing a lot of academy players. But in terms of Arsenal, these guys did not want to take that risk. With a massive game against Tottenham, they want their first team players to be back. They have seen a rule in the Premier League, an official rule, and they have taken advantage of it. But having taken advantage of the rule, according to Miguel Delaney, Tottenham were left furious following the postponement of the match against Arsenal. Now, on one side, I can understand why Tottenham were angry because, yeah, if they had played Arsenal today, they would have played such a young midfield and most likely Tottenham would have taken advantage of it. But at the same time, all Arsenal have done is taken advantage of the rules. And those rules state that if you have a certain amount of players unavailable, regardless of COVID, AFCON or injuries, then Arsenal are allowed to put in a postponement request. So if that annoys you, don't look at Arsenal Football Club, go look at the rule makers. And even in terms of Sky's pundit Mika Richards, he says, in my opinion, they have done nothing wrong. Let's be honest, other clubs will do the same thing. It's not an Arsenal thing. Every team in the Premier League would look after themselves, and if they say they wouldn't have, then they're lying. Exactly that, Arsenal have done nothing wrong and other teams also would have done this. We have literally seen Liverpool fake their COVID test and get a game called off. So the fact that Arsenal have done this, and I'm seeing all of this media outrage, why Arsenal Football Club? As a wise man once said, don't hate the player, go hate the game. And also, whenever this game is rescheduled, most likely, fingers crossed, that Arsenal have the likes of Partey back, Xhaka back. I mean, imagine we do have a certain Dusan Vlahovic and he scores a winning goal. That, my friends, will be beautiful scenes. Talking about beautiful scenes, we saw a goal and a man of the match performance from Nicolas Pepe against Sierra Leone this afternoon. Nicolas Pepito's scenes in AFCON, I think it is just fantastic to see a player that was so out of confidence and out of favour of Arsenal going to play for his country, scoring goals, getting man in the matches, but unfortunately was let down by a massive goalkeeper blunder. But bringing it back to Arsenal Football Club, even though we have not played this week, let's just say it's been a low-key successful weekend, because in terms of one of Arsenal's main top 4 rivals, Man United, despite being 2-0 up against Villa, they dropped points and drew 2-2. And also in terms of West Ham United losing at home to Leeds United and again dropping all 3 points. And what that means for the top 4 races, the West Ham still sit 4th, but Arsenal do have 2 games in hand, 2 points behind. Spurs have 4 games in hand, and United have played the same amount of games as Arsenal with 32 points. But with West Ham and Man United both dropping points, it gives Arsenal of course a massive advantage, but likewise Tottenham Hotspur. But in terms of Arsenal's 3 main competitors for the top 4 in Tottenham, Man United and West Ham, who do you guys see as the biggest threat for Arsenal in this top 4 race? I'm going to say it's Antonio Conte's Nando's FC. But that is the video right there. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, if you want to follow your boy on them social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was the latest episode of the Transfers FC, and tomorrow is going to be a massive day. Potentially I'm going to drop the Chris Wheatley interview, but I want to say right now, just a massive gargantuan thank you for 70,000 subscribers. It sounds mental to say, and you guys are the real MVPs. Anyways guys, I'll see you next time. Keep safe, keep smiling, and live it.